So, when you think of Japan, what comes to mind? I bet it's something like bullet trains, right? Or those super clean streets and that famous culture of respect. And yeah, that's the postcard version. But what if I told you that actually living there is, well, a completely different story? Something way more shocking. Yeah, because once you're actually there, that postcard image starts to clash with daily life. And that's when you find the real Japan, a place that's so much more complex and honestly, full of surprises. So today, we're going to peel back those layers. We're diving into the 10 biggest things that totally shock foreigners when they live in Japan. Okay, so it literally starts the second you walk out your door. You realize pretty quickly that Japanese society runs on this whole system of unspoken rules. It's like everyone got a secret script that they've all memorized. And if you're new there, well, figuring that script out is your first big test. All right, let's kick it off with shock number 1, the silence. Seriously, picture this. You're on a train in Tokyo. It's rush hour, packed shoulder to shoulder, and it's quiet. Like really quiet. No one's shouting into their phone, no loud conversations. It's just this hum of collective respect. And for someone who's not used to it, it's this weird mix of being super calming and, honestly, a little bit unsettling. Then you notice shock number 2, just how clean everything is. I mean, the streets are genuinely spotless. It's clearly a huge point of pride. But as you're walking around admiring these pristine sidewalks, you start to feel like something's off. Something important is missing. And you guessed it, that's shock number 3, the trash cans. Or the lack of them. You finish a drink, you have a wrapper in your hand, and you look around, and there's just nothing. You can walk for what feels like miles without finding a single public bin. So you have to ask, right? How on earth is one of the cleanest countries in the world getting by with no trash cans? Well, the whole thing boils down to personal responsibility. The rule is simple, really. You make the trash, you take it home with you. The entire system is built on every single person being accountable. And that, my friends, leads us right into shock number 4, the insanely detailed and complicated rules for sorting all that trash once you finally get it home. And you know, this whole idea of respecting shared space, it doesn't stop with trash. It also applies to our 5th shock, eating in public. You just don't see people walking down the street while munching on something. It's not really done. People will find a spot, eat their food, and then carry on. It's another one of those quiet rules that just keeps everything orderly and clean. So when you put all this together, these unspoken rules and this deep sense of personal responsibility, you get some really fascinating paradoxes. You see these moments every day where ancient tradition and super modern life just crash right into each other. Okay, now for shock number 6, and this one is a big one. Money. You think Japan, you think high-tech future, right? You'd assume everything is cashless. Nope. The reality is, Japan is very much a cash-based society. We're talking your local ramen joint, little market stalls. A lot of these places don't take cards. Forgetting to have yen on you? That is the ultimate newbie mistake. All right, shock number 7, customer service. Oh my gosh, it is on another level. It's legendary for a reason. Staff will bow, they speak in this incredibly polite and formal way, and they'll apologize for things that aren't even problems. For a foreigner, that level of service it's a real shock. It can almost feel a little overwhelming, to be honest. And that same kind of thinking applies to shock number 8, where people live. Especially in the big cities, apartments are compact, and that's putting it mildly. Every single square inch has a purpose. So if you're coming from a place with big open rooms and you move into one of these super efficient micro apartments, yeah, it's a huge shock to the system. You learn minimalism fast. But then, just when you think you've figured out the traditional side of things, bam, you get shock number 9, the vending machines. They are everywhere. I'm not kidding, on almost every corner. And they don't just sell soda. We're talking hot coffee, full bowls of ramen, umbrellas, even electronics. These Jidohan Baiki are just this perfect symbol of how Japan does convenience. So you take all of these things we've talked about, the silence, the cleanliness, the cash, the vending machines, and they all start to point to something bigger. They all tie into this unique social contract. It's like the invisible foundation that holds the entire society together. And that brings us to our final shock. Number 10, you do not tip. Ever. In fact, if you try to leave a tip, you'll probably just get confusion, maybe even have someone chase you down to give it back. That's because, in Japan, amazing service isn't something extra you reward with more money. It's just the standard. It's the baseline expectation. And that idea, that principle that everyone is just expected to operate at this really high standard, it goes way beyond just customer service. It's woven into the very fabric of society. And the result? A level of social trust that is, frankly, hard to believe. This, for me, might be the most incredible part. Japan is one of the safest countries you could ever visit. Think about it. People will leave their $1,000 laptop on a cafe table just to save their seat while they order. And the classic example, if you lose your wallet, the odds are insanely good that you'll get it back. Not just the wallet, all the cash will still be in it. That kind of honesty is just, it's something special and pretty rare in the world today. So in the end, living in Japan really means living in this world of contrasts, right? It's a high-tech future that runs on cash. It's profound public silence right next to crazy, vibrant street life. It's this deep personal sense of responsibility that creates a society that is unbelievably safe. It's a place that doesn't just ask you to follow the rules. It kind of asks you to change your entire way of thinking. And that really leaves you with a big question, doesn't it? You know, in our world, which can feel so focused on the individual, so chaotic sometimes, what can we learn from a society that's built on these ideas of shared responsibility, these silent agreements, and this incredible level of trust? It's a fascinating balance, and maybe, just maybe, it's one we should all be looking at a little more closely.